Recently, I was talking to a client about a key sales challenge they're facing, dislodging long-standing, entrenched competitors who own the account. My client has a better solution. It does a whole lot more for their prospects. Plus, it costs less and it's easier to use. You'd think it'd be a no-brainer to go with them. It's not. In fact, it's downright tough for them to wrest that business away from the incumbent. In many cases, they get dismissed right away on their initial connection with statements like, "We're happy with our current provider. We're not planning on making any changes." And if they do get in the game, they consistently lose head-to-head battles. How could that possibly be, especially when they're better and cheaper? Here's the deal. First off, no one in that company is making a big stink about the incumbent, even though it's not perfect. They've learned its weaknesses and they've worked around them. Plus, switching is risky. It's liable to get people upset because their old ways, their autopilot isn't working anymore. They have learning curves to go through and they never like doing that. With everything else on their plates, prospects are loath to take on more. That's the incumbent advantage. Did you know that in U.S. politics, over 90% of incumbents get reelected to the House of Representatives, even if their constituency thinks they're lousy? So that's what you're fighting. Trying to dislodge long-standing incumbents requires a different strategy. You can't win going head-to-head against them. You have to sneak in under their radar screen using what I call the augmentation strategy. To do that, you need to take a good hard look at your competitors. Everyone has some weaknesses. Also, there may be some missing links in their offering that you can exploit. When I started my own company, rather than going head-to-head against the big sales training firms, I identified a gap. They didn't do sales training on product launches. It just wasn't as scalable or as profitable as turnkey training programs. For me, however, it was a gold mine. It was also a foot in the door. Once I'd established my credibility, I'd start picking away at my competitors. Little by little, I became the resource of choice. This augmentation strategy works so much better than a head-to-head confrontation with an incumbent. You start with a little win and then you expand. Give it a shot. You'll be amazed.